This is the Sharp Aquos 60-inch LED Smart TV. I got it from the Amazon Vine, and I'm doing this video to give you an idea of what you could expect should you choose to buy. What I'm looking at here is the edge of the bezel of this particular TV, and what I want to show you is, if I can get my, there we go, there's the remote, and I'm going to put the remote up against it, and then I'm going to show you just how thin this TV really is. It is about 2 remotes thick is all. So really nice and thin, would work well on a wall mounting. I happen to have it on the stand, which I'll come down here, and you can see it's very low profile. If you wanted to put a sound bar in front of it, you probably would want to raise up this TV just a touch because it's really, really low. Here's kind of a cool feature of this TV. You've actually got component in, which you can see my Wii is connected with those white connections there, and you've got 2 composite ones which work with like an old VHS player, or it would work with an older camcorder that connected that way and didn't have HDMI. Above it you have VGA connections for a PC, or you have over to the side here, you can kind of see on the side I've already got stuff plugged in, HDMI ports. There's 4 of them. The top one you're going to want to use because it's number 1 for any AV receiver, because that's per the instructions what you should do. It's also got 2 USB ports, and down where you see the red line coming out of that, that's where I've got the wired internet. There is also a connection for your cable, which I have an over-air antenna. I use a Mohu Leaf to get over-air TV. And what else have we got down there? I think I pretty much covered it there. But as you can see, pretty easy to set all this up. I also have an LED strip that I use at night, and it's powered by USB, and that powers up when the TV turns on. So these are connections on the back. What I'll show you next is the remote, and I'm going to pan down here, and here it is in my hand. The lower portion here has a very prominent Netflix launch, which I'll show you in a little bit. You can also set up favorites for your favorite apps with those colored buttons. In the center portion here, that's where you do most of your navigation. You also have Smart Central, which I'll show you in a moment, menu, moving up, very small channel and volume, mute, input. You'll use input quite a bit if you connect other devices to this TV. Numbers are actually pretty large, which I don't use them that often, so it's kind of wasted space for me. And up there are some other navigational things that if you had things directly connected to the HDMI ports, you would use more than I would. And of course the power button is the red one up in the upper left. And that's pretty much it. Very basic remote. I wish it was backlit, but you can't have everything, right? So that is the remote. Hope that was helpful to you. Okay, we're back to the TV. I'm going to go ahead and press the menu button and give you an idea of what you can expect when you do that. Here you get several headings: Smart TV setup, audio settings, picture settings, information, and system options. Right now we're in the Smart TV. This is where you would go if you wanted to play with the wallpaper, that to show you. And this is, you're seeing the reflection yet again, the brightness. This is a very basic manual, but it's actually more than they gave you in the box. So just so you know, it's here if you want it. I don't think too many people are going to have a real big issue finding stuff like that if they just kind of go through the menu itself. Power control, it does have some ways to have it boot up quickly, but I don't have that turned on because it also has a low-level power to the USB port, which would keep that LED light strip on all the time, which I don't want to do. And again, we're back to Smart TV. The internet setup and all that is in there. I really hope I can figure out that Wi-Fi issue, but I have a feeling it's going to be a challenge. I'll continue to try and call them, but anyway, this is where you'd go to do that if you were having issues. So I hope this has been helpful. Next thing I want to show, there's a slight delay before that pops up. You see the menu down at the bottom. I go ahead and hit enter on the remote, and then this will populate a TV guide from over-air, and you see that in the red on the left. You can also see what's available via streaming. Now that populates things for that you choose. I chose Vudu. I said Netflix, but sometimes it's usually just Vudu and Hulu Plus that populate, at least for me. And also apps. In the apps there's also games. What we're looking at here is just over air. It's telling me, which is a great thing for over air users. Cord cutters will love this because you can view at a glance what channels are available and what you can watch right now. Also notice off to the right, I'm currently watching that television program and it's showing. If I had the volume on, I would also hear the volume. I'm going to go ahead and navigate down over the guide, putting that bar over it, and it also shows me popular and favorites. Now these are programs that are out there, but I don't necessarily get, at least over air. If you had a cable setup, that would be different. Also go over to streaming. You notice how the bar is over it? That's how I know I'm in that menu. It gives me popular, new, favorites, things like this as I go over them. If I go down to one specific one and I click on it, over in the lower right, it will tell me a little bit about that, and it'll also tell me where I can get it. In this case, Vudu and Hulu Plus. And since I have a subscription to Hulu Plus, I could watch it for free. I'm going to go back up. I'm going to return. You have to click return on the menu, or on your remote rather. And then I'm going to go up out of streaming and into apps. And that turns purple. And here you see the popular ones. Of course, I've mentioned that Amazon is not on this as an app, which is kind of a bummer, but you can do it with Amazon Fire TV and Roku devices, as well as some others. You could stream and mirror the Amazon app as well. If I drop down and I see the popular ones, I can also go into what's available for TV and music. And you notice that Pandora's in there. I use that one. Entertainment. TED TV is very entertaining. There's a lot, and of course YouTube. Social, you can do Facebook and Twitter here. If I go over yet further, you have some games. I've done the Texas Hold'em. It's very rudimentary, but it's fun. You're not paying a credit card or anything like that, so it's really easy to do. The other thing I'm going to do right now is go ahead and hit on my remote the Netflix button so you can see how fast this loads. I have 60 megabyte internet. This is probably getting it at 30, and it does it really quickly. Nice transitions. I'm going to go ahead and show Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and leave you with this. Really nice TV, great video quality, a few quirks, which I've mentioned, but overall, a pretty good buy. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.